Chapter 12. Grief, Panic, and the Weight of Silence. I wanted to believe I was moving forward, but the truth was that I was unraveling. My parents never spoke of Kelta, and when I tried to, their eyes slid away as if my love and her death were inconveniences best forgotten. At home, life continued as though nothing had happened to me at all. I stayed in my room most of the time, though occasionally I was around them, sitting at the kitchen counter or passing through the living room, weighed down by the silence. I longed to share the joy I had known with Kelta, but the disgust I felt in realizing my parents had no interest in what made me happy left me mute. Around them, it was as if I had never been in love, never lost the one person who had made me feel truly alive. That silence was its own kind of gaslighting, and it poisoned whatever chance I had of healing. The panic attacks came suddenly, as if grief had found a way to burst through the walls I had built inside. The first one hit in the middle of the night. My chest tightened like a vice, my breath refusing to come. I was certain I was dying. Terrified, I crept downstairs and called out, "Dad!" I don't remember what words I used. Maybe I couldn't even form a sentence, but he understood enough. He drove me to the ER. Under the harsh fluorescent lights, I tried to explain the unexplainable, that I couldn't breathe, that my heart was pounding so hard I thought it would stop at any second. The doctors called it a panic attack. They gave me something, probably Valium, and after a while the terror receded enough to go home. But the relief didn't last. The attacks returned, each time convincing me that death was near. A psychiatrist prescribed me what he called a major tranquilizer. He explained that in higher doses it was used for psychotic disorders, but in a small dose it would calm me. I wanted to believe him. I took one pill, and soon after my body betrayed me in a way that was worse than the panic itself. It started with a stiffness in my neck, then violent spasms pulled my head to the side, my back arching against my will, my jaw clenched so tight I thought my teeth would crack. I was certain my neck might snap. In terror, I called out again, "Dad!" He rushed me back to the ER. This time they gave me shots. Later I learned likely Benadryl and Valium, and within minutes the spasms eased, but the fear lingered. The terror of that night has never left me. Decades later, my sister would tell me that during this period, my parents feared they might come home and find me dead. Yet they never said that to me then. Instead, the silence in our house screamed louder than words, and in that silence I heard a message I could never shake, that I was of no real value, that with all my problems and mistakes, how could I ever hope to help others? I don't know if those words were ever spoken aloud, but they lived in me as though they had been. One evening in the kitchen, my mother was talking about something. I don't even remember what. I stood at the counter looking away, frustration simmering under the surface. Then she reached out and placed her hand on mine. Before I could even think, I recoiled. Her face twisted in disgust, like a rattlesnake striking. The look in her eyes was so fierce that I thought I might be put out of the house that very night. I was terrified, not just of her anger, but of what would happen if she and my father decided they were done with me. Where would I go? I had no answer, only the cold fear of being homeless. Somehow I wasn't forced to leave, but the fear that I could be, that I was living on borrowed time under their roof, never left me. I began to wonder if escape was the only way to survive. The truth was, I had been looking for a way out for as long as I could remember. Any way out would have been welcome by me. Then, just as I was running out of hope, a door opened. I had been applying through employment agencies, anything that might get me out. One finally called with a 6-month contract in Wilmington, North Carolina, a technical writing position with Corning. The pay was decent for 1992, and with the $65 to $85 per diem untaxed, I realized I could live comfortably on my own. I found a roommate in advance, a woman named Donna, and with her share of the rent I could make it work. I didn't yet know that I would stay in Wilmington, or that I would meet Lynn, or that my life was about to change in ways I could not have imagined. All I knew then was that I finally had my escape. I'd been looking for a way out for as long as I could remember. Any way out would have been welcomed by me.